My brothers and sisters in Christ, in today's gospel, we hear the version that Luke presents of Jesus questioning his disciples about who he is. Unlike the account in Matthew, where Peter's proclamation that he is the Christ follows up with the great dialogue bestowing the keys upon Peter, Luke's simply asks them who that people say that he is, and they give the various answers. Peter confesses he is the Christ, and Jesus quickly rebukes them and instructs them to tell no one. And then he begins to speak of how the Son of Man must suffer. Now, this part is true in each of the gospel, including Matthew. The identification that he is a Christ immediately follows with him talking about his coming passion. The significance in this, especially when we look at why would Jesus ask them, why would we finally get our great proclamation that he is the Christ? Why would Jesus follow that by immediately making sure they don't tell anyone? And that is because the world is not ready to know him as the Christ because they don't understand what that means yet. And first in line are the disciples. They have different expectations. We see even just the answers that people give. They say, oh, Jesus is, John the Baptist or Elijah or one of the great prophets. They're reacting to the miracles, all of these things happening in the wake. They're reacting with celebrity status upon this great figure. And the disciples are in the same way. Even as Peter proclaims, you are the Christ, Peter has in his mind what he expects the Christ to be. But Jesus is quick to show, the Christ I am is one that's preparing to suffer. I am a Christ of the cross. We are guilty of the same thing. We do it to this present day. We want to paint in the lines of our version of what it means to be the Christ. We want to caricaturize Jesus and make him a version that we like in our head. For example, is Jesus the rebel Jesus, or is he the legalistic Jesus? Or is he both? Is Jesus the one who constantly shows mercy to everyone, or is he the Jesus that warns of judgment and condemnation? Or is he both? Jesus is complicated. The gospel is not easy. It's beautiful. It's life-giving, but it's not easy. And so Jesus reveals, yes, he is the long-awaited Christ, the one to bring salvation, but salvation isn't coming the way you think. I'm going to suffer and die and invite you to do the same with me. But we like to paint just the one version of Christ that we're most comfortable with. We either like kind of the hippie Jesus version, or we like the stern and stoic Jesus, or whichever one most fits our temperament and theological leanings. We like that version, but it's all Jesus. We have to accept the entirety of the gospel. And that's what he is preparing his disciples for. Okay, yes, you're right. I am the Christ, but now I'm about to show you what that means, and you better listen up. And so this warning goes to us as well. Are we listening to the entirety of Jesus? Are we listening to the entirety of the gospel, or just the parts that we like? May we open our minds and hearts to all that the Lord wishes to reveal to us, so that we may truly follow him and live. May God bless you all.